Welcome to the world of horror, mhr's dark tales, and enjoy a terrifying horror story. Girls Hostel. Anaya was breathing heavily, trembling with fear. Her hair was disheveled, and she stood in front of the mirror trying to tie them back, but her hands were shaking too much. That night, for the first time, she regretted her habit of staying up late. It felt as if someone was still following her. This all began when Anaya and Ria, both students of Class A, studied in a boarding school and stayed in the hostel. The school was well known for its education, but the girls' hostel had a dark history. 5 years ago, a bright and studious 9th grade girl mysteriously died on the 5th floor of the hostel. No one understood how. She wasn't depressed, nor was she under academic pressure. Initially, people suspected murder, but no evidence was ever found, and the case was closed. However, over time, a rumor spread the girl's ghost still haunted the 5th floor. The school authorities eventually locked the floor, only opening it once a week for cleaning. 5 years later, Anaya and Ria became roommates. Their routine was fixed. Anaya would stay up all night studying, then wake Ria at 7 a.m. before going to sleep. Ria, in turn, studied until breakfast. She always wore glasses and had a black thread around her wrist, a gift from her mother. Like the other students, they didn't believe in the 5th floor rumors, but no one dared to go there either. However, something happened on the night of December 10th that changed everything. As usual, at around 12:30 a.m., Anaya was studying while Ria slept. Suddenly, Anaya's throat felt dry, so she went to the hall to make coffee. The hostel was eerily silent. Everyone was asleep, and the only sound was the whirring of the coffee machine. Once she turned it off, silence returned. As Anaya turned around with her coffee mug, she froze. Ria was standing right behind her. In the dim light, only half of Ria's face was visible, but something was off. She wasn't wearing her glasses or the black thread. Confused, Anaya asked why she was awake. Ria whispered in an odd voice, "Let's go to the 5th floor balcony." Anaya's eyes widened. A mischievous smile flickered on her lips. But before she could respond, Ria grabbed her hand and started pulling her up the stairs. As they climbed, Anaya noticed something chilling. She could only hear her own footsteps. Ria's feet made no sound. She wasn't wearing slippers. The 5th floor door was already open. They stepped inside. A few minutes later, they found themselves in a room. The same room where the girl had died 5 years ago, but neither of them knew that. The night was freezing. Cold winds howled through the broken windows, and fog covered the hall. Suddenly, Anaya's eyes landed on a wall. Someone had scratched into it, using their nails. 10th December. The two walked to the balcony. Ria was eerily silent. Anaya shivered from the cold and suggested they go back. Ria didn't respond. When Anaya called her again, Ria slowly turned to look at her. Anaya's blood ran cold. Ria's eyes were completely white. In a slow, heavy voice, Ria whispered, "Jump!" Anaya's body froze. Why was Ria asking her to jump? Every second, Ria's voice grew heavier. "Jump! Jump!" Anaya felt hypnotized. Her body went numb. Her hands rose on their own, and she began loosening her hair. The strands floated in the wind like water. Just as she was about to step forward, a loud thud echoed from the floor below, breaking her trance. With all her might, Anaya shoved Ria back and ran downstairs. As she ran, she heard a horrifying growl behind her, but she didn't look back. She rushed into her room, slammed the door shut, and turned around, only to find something even more terrifying. Ria was still sleeping peacefully on her bed, in the exact same position. Anaya's face turned pale. She shook Ria awake. Ria saw Anaya's terrified expression and hugged her. But when she asked what had happened, Anaya couldn't say a word. That night, Anaya washed her face, tied her hair, and made a decision. She would never stay up late again. From that night on, she started ignoring Ria. But soon, Ria noticed something strange. Whenever she sat down to study, she felt like someone was watching her, and it was always Anaya. Frustrated, Ria finally confronted her. Shaking, Anaya told her everything. After listening, Ria's mind raced. She knew that 5 years ago, on this exact date, a girl had died. December 10th. This meant that all the rumors were true. The ghost of the girl still haunted the 5th floor. After that, neither of them ever spoke about it again. But they have never forgotten that terrifying night. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe to mhr's Dark Tales.